In a stunning and nearly unimaginable turn of events, Hermes, the world's emblem of elite luxury, is reportedly getting ready to leave the Chinese market. Yes, the same market that helped make its Birkin bags into symbols of untouchable status may now be the battlefield that puts an end to that illusion. This possible departure follows a flurry of exposés by Chinese manufacturers who pulled back the velvet curtain to show how cheap it really is to produce Hermes' most sought-after pieces. The figures were astounding.
You can continue to expose all of these retailers. Nobody's going to care.
I am about to crash.
Y'all would never catch me in nothing fake. No fake earrings, no fake bracelets, no fake shoes, nothing fake designer. It's gonna be a no for me.
The Birkin bag, Hermes' crown jewel, which was allegedly made for pennies on the dollar, is now the poster child for corporate greed. The backlash has been swift, loud, and furious. Protests have broken out outside Hermes boutiques. Influencers who once bragged about the brand are now disparaging it both literally and figuratively. And sales are reportedly declining rather than acknowledging anything. Hermes has removed the gloves from their response.
It starts with 30 distinct cuts of leather and can take 20 hours to complete, 4 hours for just the handle. Put the finishing touches on a Kelly, the most difficult bag to build. Artisans rely on their training and muscle memory to make every bag.
Bringing legal action against whistleblowers who claimed that factories were lying. But that just made matters worse now that its reputation has been damaged and its hold on China is eroding. The world is looking to see which direction Hermes will go as it finds itself at a high-stakes crossroads in one of its most lucrative and now most unfriendly regions. The luxury industry was rocked when it was revealed that a $38,000 Hermes Birkin bag.
I need you people to wake up and critically think and stop believing this shit that you see on TikTok, okay?
You mean to tell me you believe that this man is making your Birkins in China? If he's a Birkin artisan, then I'm an astronaut.
Long regarded as the pinnacle of prestige symbols, they are said to be produced for just about $1,450. That's not a typo. The worst part is that this wasn't just an anonymous rumor. According to leaked reports from Chinese manufacturing hubs, workers involved in producing components for luxury goods, including Hermes, revealed that materials were cheap, labor was underpaid, and the process wasn't nearly as artisanal as the brand claimed. One of the most sought-after handbags in the world, with wait lists that stretch for months or even years, is marked up by more than 2,500%.
It's made in China. I can get that for $12.
Go outside and touch grass. Some of you guys feel like this is your moment to shine and you can finally stick it to people that buy luxury goods without like even fact-checking anything about any of this information that you're being fed from these factories or people with these TikTok videos which seemingly have false information, everything from pricing to the bags. Like, I just don't understand. A lot of these luxury brands own their own manufacturing and source product from farms that they own. Hermes owns its own tanneries and crocodile and alligator farms, has workshops in France, and most bags are made by a single artisan. So go ahead and buy your DHgate bag, whatever bag, and see how it holds up over the years. Trust me, Hermes is not concerned.
The shocking revelation that what Hermes markets as French workmanship is actually just global outsourcing disguised as aristocratic branding went viral on Chinese social media sites like Weibo and Xiaohongshu. Millions of individuals shared videos, pictures, and purported cost breakdowns, revealing the massive flaw in Hermes' Mess's premium facade. Suddenly, customers weren't just doubting costs. They were also wondering if they were truly purchasing luxury goods.
This is why this bag from our factory only costs you 1,000 USD.
Have you all seen that TikTok by the Chinese guy exposing how luxury goods are actually made? The only real difference? China ships the products to Europe, slaps on a made in France or made in Italy label, and boom, luxury? It's ridiculous.
Or simply believing a lie, it became worse. A former production consultant who claimed to work with third-party manufacturers hired by luxury brands shared a widely shared breakdown of the price of a typical Birkin bag. According to them, the markup wasn't just avaricious. It was intentional exploitation concealed beneath romantic marketing. Influencers on social media started creating Hermes exposed films, analyzing the cost versus price controversy, as a result of this.
These are pieces of artwork. These artisans train years and years to make one of these bags.
Fabrice is doing the last stitching on a Kelly bag. A Kelly takes around 13 hours to be made, depending on the materials that we make it. Our artisans, they need to do 4 years of training to be able to manufacture a Kelly bag.
Well, Hermes says, made in China, does it feel cheaper? No, that's not quality issue. It's luxury brand washing.
Hermes, you guys, it's time to show off your factories. No, I don't want to wait to go on YouTube and watch a beautiful documentary. Show them off right here on TikTok. Let the world see. Okay, get like China. You gotta be ghetto about it. Just let people know.
None of the brands these creators mention, Louis Vuitton, Prada, Chanel, especially Hermes, need to go to China for production. And here is why. Labels like Made in France and Made in Italy comes with strict restrictions. And brands at that level don't risk compromising that. It's just not worth it.
The once untouchable Hermes name was suddenly being dragged through the mud. And everyone was wondering not only if this was true, but also how long they had been doing this. However, that was only the beginning. Once the price gouging expose went viral, Chinese consumers snapped. And this wasn't just some online whining. Entire comment sections were inundated with accusations, receipts, and hashtags calling for a boycott.
A lot of requests, do Hermes next. And that's why we're here in the Highland Park Mall.
In Italy, made in China. Or maybe made in Chile. Oh yeah, that should be a thing, by the way. I have spent over $100,000 of my own money dissecting luxury bags, cutting them open, analyzing every stitch, every layer. Why? Because I had to know what made those bags so expensive.
Does anybody have the Louis Vuitton from China and a Louis Vuitton that they got at the designer store? Because I need to see a side-by-side. I have to know if there's any discrepancies or any differences, or is it the exact same thing? Because I'm starting to feel ripped the fuck off right now. I got a closet full of this shit that I paid thousands for. And you're telling me it's all been made in China and I could have just gone straight to China and gotten this shit? It just can't be the same. It cannot be the same. And if it is, damn, we all got played. Well, not all of us, but a lot of us. Seriously, please don't tell me I got played. I refuse to believe that there's no difference.
This was a massive in-your-face outcry that manifested itself in Beijing and other large cities. Hermes storefronts in Shanghai and Guangzhou were turned into protest sites, where banners were raised, glass was broken, and people screamed calls for justice and transparency. At one Shanghai location, a mob allegedly stormed the store entrance holding up photos comparing production cost breakdowns to Birkin retail prices. Some even waved receipts they had kept for years, which they now claimed symbolized their gullibility and Hermes manipulation. Influencers gathered in large numbers to live stream outside boutiques and criticize Hermes for treating Chinese customers like wallets with legs. A woman was seen screaming, "I paid for luxury, I got lies," as she smashed her Hermes bag on the ground in a video that went viral. For many members of China's elite class, owning a Birkin wasn't just a fashion choice, it was a symbol of success. That symbol had been turned into a punchline, and when Hermes attempted to release a vague corporate statement about maintaining brand integrity, it only made matters worse. The brand was criticized by critics for being tone-deaf, dismissive, and arrogantly silent about the real issue. That clip alone garnered over 20 million views in 48 hours. Customers started canceling their waitlist orders. Socialites publicly vowed to never shop Hermes mess again, and the Chinese press took notice. State-run publications like People's Daily and Global Times published full features exposing the exploitative practices of the luxury industry. They didn't hold back, accusing Hermes of cultural elitism, economic manipulation, and hiding mass production behind a French flag. Former brand loyalists posted videos of their unboxing regrets, saying they felt deceived and ashamed. Just when Hermes believed it would weather the storm, protests spread to Hong Kong and Taiwan. This wasn't a simple scandal, though, it was a movement. Hermes wasn't going down quietly, though, as it faced a full-scale uprising from its largest luxury market. According to early reports, Hermes did what most billion-dollar empires do. Hermes filed lawsuits against a number of Chinese manufacturers, claiming that they had violated confidentiality agreements, defamed the brand, and illegally disclosed proprietary business data. The catch is that people didn't view this as justice. Instead, they saw it as retaliation. Online critics immediately branded the Hermes mess as the luxury mafia, accusing the brand of using lawsuits as a weapon to silence whistleblowers like Nong Hermes. The claim that the lawsuits were a PR disaster wrapped in legal intimidation began to trend, even among business analysts. The public saw it as a massive corporate power flex when one alleged whistleblower, who shared documents detailing how manufacturing was outsourced to third-party factories in Guangdong province, reportedly went into hiding. Rumors circulated that private investigators and legal pressure were being used to find the leakers. Hermes was attempting to smash anyone who embarrassed them, not to win in court. Then came the counterattacks. If that turns out to be true, the entire legal battle would be turned upside down, and Hermes may appear even more guilty, according to several Chinese legal experts who said that Hermes's litigation wouldn't stand up under local labor rules, and that whistleblowers might be protected under industrial transparency regulations. Meanwhile, Chinese netizens began sharing images of purported NDAs and factory agreements, implying that Hermes suppliers were bound by purposefully ambiguous contracts that permitted the business to delegate accountability when it was practical while still suing when it was advantageous to them. Legal scholars across Asia called the move a textbook case of corporate bullying, and instead of quieting the storm, the lawsuits threw gasoline on it, and Hermes still hadn't answered the biggest question of all: why was a $1,450 bag selling for $38,000? In what could be one of the most shocking luxury market shakeups in years, Hermes is allegedly preparing to pull out of China entirely. Yes, Hermes leaving China, the same China that has single-handedly propped up the global luxury industry for the past decade, the same China where billionaires are minted weekly and handbags are treated like blue-chip assets. That China. And why? Because they got exposed, because the veil got ripped off, because Chinese manufacturers revealed that the heritage brand image Hermes sold to the world was at least in part outsourced, inflated, and artificially priced. And when the truth came out, Hermes didn't apologize, they doubled down, they sued, they threatened, and now they may run. According to whispers in the high-end retail world, executives from Hermes are constantly in crisis meetings to prevent further harm to the brand. Talks are reportedly taking place to reduce operations, decrease product availability, or in the worst-case scenario, close stores throughout mainland China. In other words, it's time to pack up and leave. But this isn't just a bad quarter or a small PR problem. This is about losing control of the narrative. China was their golden goose. A single Birkin drop in Shanghai could generate 6 figures in less than 30 minutes. Chinese influencers and celebrities based their modern identity and status on exclusivity, price, and access. But now that same customer base is criticizing the brand. And if Hermes leaves, they won't just lose money. They'll lose dominance, because this is the part Hermes didn't anticipate. China no longer requires them, as local luxury brands like Shanghai Icicle and Neiwai are already leveraging the fallout by providing high-quality fashion with transparency, authenticity, and most importantly, consumer respect. These brands aren't founded on Eurocentric elitism. Rather, they're made for modern China, and they're expanding, so even if Hermes leaves, they won't be missed because they'll be quickly replaced. And the impact won't stop with handbags. According to reports, other Western luxury behemoths like Dior, Chanel, and Louis Vuitton are closely monitoring this drama. Internal strategy teams at competing brands are reportedly rushing to inspect their supply chains, re-evaluate pricing tactics, and prepare statements in case they are the next ones exposed if Hermes fails in China. The fact that Hermes is thinking about leaving China isn't the only thing that makes this moment so crucial. They're leaving because the market figured them out, not because the market failed them. If the Chinese consumer can overthrow Hermes, who is truly in control, the Hermes scandal serves as a wake-up call for the luxury sector in a time when information is easily accessible. Brands can no longer depend just on exclusivity and appearance. As consumers get more knowledgeable and discriminating, openness, moral behavior, and reasonable price are becoming crucial. The luxury sector must change or risk losing its appeal.